through the COVID times also.
Yeah.
Those were very tough times. I remember, having a conversation with you,
Yeah.
and we met. So, how did you manage your bad times? And, how do you distinguish between your bad times and your good times?
It's like for us as a company, it was a very, very hard time.
Right.
One of our co-founders passed away
Yeah.
due to COVID, and he was like for me the one of the reasons why I've got into this business, right? So, one mentally, I honestly feel you can't ever get out of
You
it.
can't. You can't.
So for us, like the same, like we had just opened Bombay Sweet Shop. At that time, I think my team strength would have been around 200 people, beginning of March. Then you get into this phase where restaurants were completely shut literally for a year and a half.
Right.
Not, I would say, like when it comes to the bad times, take a day at a time, right? Take your time to deal with the grief. Um, you are, as a founder, everyone looks up to you as you'll always have the answer. You're always going to motivate them. You're always going to inspire them. But sometimes it's okay to say that I don't have the answer. Because when COVID came, there was so much that you didn't know about what the pandemic was, what influence it will have on your business. You didn't see the future. So then, like for us, we said, okay, what can we do today? What can change today? And let's just do one step at a time. So we literally went back to the same thing before, like back to the basics. We started with a team of just 20 people who were ready to come to work. Because if you remember that time,
Yeah.
people were
Yeah.
scared to come to
People
work.
were scared to come out. True. True.
So out
True.
of the 200 people, we asked literally who's in Bombay right now. To it's no compulsion. Which one of y'all feel like y'all want to come in? So based on that, so I remember first we had only 12 people. So we're like, okay, within 12 people, what part of the business can we run?
And this was at the Bombay canteen, right? If
So
I'm
we
not.
started Opedro
Oh,
first.
Pedro first. Okay.
Why? Because BKC was easier for these
Easier
12 people to
access.
get
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Access was easier. So we started there. So we're like, okay, we'll start only Opedro. Within 12 people, okay, how much deliveries can we do? How much food can we make? How many dishes can you wash? How many this? So we started with that, and revenues were very less. But you know what helped was just getting out of your own head. When you're there just packing boxes, you're worried only about the box. You're not worried about anything. So slowly, like we just did Opedro to start with. And I first remember those first 3 months, it was only those 12, 14 people. But looking at those 14 people, 10 more people
10
got
more people
confident.
go confident.
So
Yeah.
then when we got another 20 people who said, okay, we can come to work, we opened Bombay Sweet Shop again.
Okay.
So we started that one.
This is at
um,
Baikala, right?
at Baikala. And there was where that was our one silver lining through COVID was when Bombay Sweet Shop had opened, it had opened like a store like this,
Okay.
right? You could only walk in retail. It did not have a e-commerce element to it. But when we had to open in COVID, you couldn't walk into a store.
Correct.
So we were forced to get into e-commerce. So we never had like a e-commerce team. So like one part of my team member, she's like, I'll train myself on YouTube and I'll understand how to run a website. I'll do it.
Oh.
So she took up that responsibility. Now because it was e-commerce, she could do it from home, and the rest were doing the thing. So I feel even our team got to learn a lot. And as then the other teams started looking at us on social media, like that we are able to do this. And they were like, if one day someone got a COVID positive test, shut down. Like you had no choice. Shut down for 3 days, again start again. We had 3 times that happened to us again, that someone tested positive. Okay, BMC used to come and put that big thing. You have to shut down
Shut
again,
down. Yeah.
sanitize the place. 3 days, you can't do anything. Come back again. So during that, the bad times, I feel you cry a lot. I had times when you're
We
alone
all
and
went
you're
through
like,
that.
yeah,
So, but what about the staff? Like you kept giving them
yeah. So
salaries
we
or
kept giving
something
them
like that?
part of their salaries.
Oh, part of the salaries.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we said is we have to be fair to people. So the first 2 months, everyone got full salaries,
Okay.
all of them. After that, we said, see, guys, now as a company, there's X amount we can afford to pay. Whoever is ready to come into work obviously gets paid their full salaries. If you work from home, this is a part of the salary you will get.
Okay.
And if you truly can't, we'll pay you all a minimum so you all are not
At least you can
get your
take care of your
daily
day-to-day
necessities.
expenses.
Yeah. What we did was we had set up a medical fund.
Okay.
If anyone falls sick amongst the 200 people, here are 3 people in the company who are always there to help you.
And this
Whichever
is
part of
not
the
your
country.
medical claim, mediclaim
No.
or something. This was
Just
like a
like
fund created by you
Yeah.
saying that if anybody falls sick and they
Anyone in your
can.
family, you'll need 50,000 here, this, that. Because remember,
Okay.
that time it was also, you couldn't get a bed in the hospital.
True. True. Very true.
So it was like just three team members who would escalate things to me saying, Yash, do you know someone in this hospital? Do you know someone here? Can we help? So just making the team know that we are there for them.
It's fantastic. And
Yeah.
what about like when you have good times? Do you give
Good
them
times, I feel
bonuses
like,
or
you
something like that?
never, I feel I say Hungering has a COVID helmet.
Hmm.
We never now celebrate our good times as well as when
We
we
went
used
through
to
those tough
celebrate
times. Yeah.
before COVID, the way we used to celebrate. And now when I celebrate, I always have this at the back of my mind being like, don't get used to it because the bad times are like, it's because for us, it was that. It was 2020 March.
Hmm.
Bombay Canteen had finished 5 years.
Oh.
So we did a party on 1st March.
And on 7th March or
And
16th March, everything
16
shut.
March, everything shut. But
Yeah.
7th March, we opened Bombay Sweet Shop. So we were like fully celebrating that business is doing well. We've ground out those 5 years, we've made it. And it just came like
Crashing down everything.
crashing down. So we now also recently, three of our restaurants made it into the top 10
Yeah.
in India.
I saw that.
And even then, when I was getting those, like you keep thinking back to like, how long will this last? So it's not a good thing. I feel you should always celebrate your wins, but it's always there at the back of your mind that things change too fast.
So as a owner, it's all about, as a business owner, it's all about managing your staff, right? It's all about
Yeah,
keeping them happy.
yeah.
How do you generally keep them happy?
So our team, like, we are one of the few restaurants which works on a 5 day work week.
Oh,
Yeah, entire company works on a 5 day work week, other than the founders.
that's 365 days, seven,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Which
24
I don't
hours.
mind. I feel my work keeps me going all the time.
Right, right.
But I feel what our team has is right now when I look at it, we have someone working as a dishwasher,
Mm-hmm.
to someone working as maybe a graphic designer, to finance accountants, and everyone's life journey is very different and where they're coming from is very
True.
different, which we realized very late on that what this person wants is very different from what this. So like for the graphic designer, the independence they want is very important. So they want the 5 day work week. The dishwasher does not want a 5 day work week.
He wants to earn more.
He wants to earn more, right? So understanding what motivates each part of it was important to us. This 5 day work week then came out of then explaining to this person is we are not reducing your salary at all.
Okay.
You'll still make the same amount of money, but you need rest, physical rest, right? To just this. Then second is this was post COVID. We realized is making sure we have the best health insurance. This year we also included mental health. So any of our team members through their phone, through an app, can book a mental therapist free of cost. It shows them a list of which therapists are available during that time. They can fix an appointment. It's completely anonymous. They know their therapist, the therapist knows them. It's
Okay.
completely within the cost for the company. Any amount of therapy sessions they want, they can do. That was important to us because our industry, one thing I can't change, is a very physical industry. You're
Stress.
standing all the time. It's
Stress.
very stressful. As much as we would like to change that, it won't change. Then third is I feel there's a certain respect within the company that us as founders have been there and done that,
Okay.
right? Have worked as servers, have helped them pack. Now when Diwali comes, I'm with them packing mithai boxes, wearing a hairnet. So they see us doing that, and I feel there's that respect that
Even
all of us are
you're
equal
just not giving orders. You're actually
there
in
with
the
them.
business. So
Yeah.
as a business owner,
So my biggest thing that I tell newer business owners in my industry, I feel the tech industry is very different, is you need to be in the
hands
trenches
on,
with them,
hands on.
hands on. Like not all the time, but they need to see you there, right? For the specific first couple of months. And then later you can stand, make sure your team is ready to handle it. But they need to know that you have their back. If they get busy, you're a phone call away to come, like, Yash, can I come? Can you come help us? Right? That trust factor needs to build. So,
Nice. So that was fantastic, Yash. Now tell me one thing. what do you think about Indian football? Your opinion about Indian football? Be
So do
very
you
honest.
want? So
Yeah,
I break it down always, and I do
yeah.
this with. It's like saying, what do you feel about Indian food or food in India,
Okay,
right? And I'll break it down. Indian food will only be like our cuisine, Indian cuisine. Food in India can be all Italian and all, but made in India.
made in India.
So the
Yeah,
way I break it
the
down is
Indian Chinese.
yeah, it can be Indian Chinese,
Correct.
right? But Indian football versus football in India. So
Yeah.
Indian football for me is the Indian football team
Team.
or like these clubs that play. But football in India is the grassroots level. Like all of us playing in their schools, your training school, for example, us playing on a this. So my views on football in India are extremely encouraging. Like
Correct.
I'm super motivated by what's happening with football in India because I feel the grassroots level is changing. I see like my younger